UFC 293. This is the Hub channel. I talk about everything from music, AMC stock, movies, video games. I'm going to talk about it all. Next video I have coming out, I'll be talking about AMC stock and MOAS price predictions and Quintet 4, I believe, which should be playing today at 2 a.m. Pacific time. All right, UFC. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this. I'm going to be doing more MMA fight reviews, basically. All right, so UFC 293. What was it? September 9th. Let's see. Main card. We have a new UFC middleweight champion, Sean Strickland. He won by decision in the, after all 5 rounds. Obviously, it was pretty wild. Look at the odds. Minus 600 for Izzy. Supposedly it had gone up to all the way up to 650, 675 or something like that. Crazy. I don't think anybody. I saw them doing fighter reactions, and I think one person had it for Sean Strickland out of like 7 or 10 people. I forgot, but crazy. The gist of the fight was Sean Strickland. What the commentator said was that he won 4 rounds on every single card, and I had it the same way, 4 rounds to 1 for Sean Strickland. He won the first round, knocked Izzy down in the last 30 seconds. Izzy was able to recover, give a thumbs up. Crazy though, he got dropped pretty hard. Second round, he looked good. Both of them were standing up during the 1 minute rest in between the rounds. Second round, it looked like Izzy got his groove back. He was able to start using the reads and able to figure out Sean Strickland. Nothing too wild though. Third round, Sean Strickland came back, landed a few hard shots, I think in the third or fourth round, or maybe even both. Really hard shots. He was outboxing him the whole time in a Philly shell style boxing stance with a narrow foot stance as well. Had octagon control for a majority of the fight. He was stalking Izzy, keeping him along the cage for a lot of the fight, from what I remember. And in right before the fifth round started, Izzy was telling his coach that he could not land his jab, and that I think Sean kept kind of backing away from it or dodging it. And at the last 15, 30 seconds of the fifth round, Sean's going crazy, telling Izzy to fight him, to man up and fight him. Izzy was bloody and bruised and had a puffy face by the end of the fight. Sean was the clear winner. He had a pretty nice, post-fight speech. I did just get finished watching a portion of Israel Adesanya's post-fight press conference interview, and basically he didn't really say much. He just said that he was going to leave the talking up to his coach, and his coach just kind of said that they were down. They were asking for a rematch next week, which obviously they're not going to do. Izzy got dropped, which is basically a form of concussion. I don't know if I know the rule is that they can't spar or train hard for 6 months when they have a concussion. I think that might just count for KO, TKO knockout, finishes. I don't know if it counts for getting dropped. I don't know how that really works. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, crazy. Sean Strickland beat Israel Adesanya. I don't think anybody expected that. You could tell in the beginning that some of his shots were getting through. He was really, I don't want to say confident, but Sean Strickland was really focused. Good fight. And the only other fight I watched was tied to Ivasa versus Alexander Volkov. As you can see here, ended in the second round, close to the end. Alexander Volkov won by Ezekiel choke. he was, he was winning most of the fight. He was beating him up pretty bad. Was beating up Ty pretty bad. Ty was bloody. Ty was landing a bunch of leg kicks, which were going shin to shin, which very painful stuff. But he just handled it. But ended up getting mounted. Um, then got his back taken. Then got mounted again, and from the mount, Alexander Volkov was able to secure that Ezekiel choke. Um, I believe he's going to do one more run for the heavyweight belt. We'll see how that goes. One last thing that I forgot to say about Izzy versus Sean Strickland. I think the Dana White said that they were going to do a rematch in the post-fight press conference. I'm not surprised. It seems like since BJ Penn versus Frankie Edgar, they had those three back-to-back-to-back fights. I don't remember if they were back-to-back-to-back. But when they had those back-to-back fights, BJ Penn was the one who started the trend of getting the rematch because nobody could believe that BJ Penn would be beaten by Frankie Edgar, which started all of the other, immediate rematches for champs when before, the champ that lost his belt or his or her belt would have to work their way up. Another crazy thing that I forgot to talk about was that during one of the pre-fight press conferences, a reporter asked Sean Strickland what UFC 293 meant to him, which is wild because he said the last 93 there was, UFC 193, was, I believe, in Australia as well, when Holly Holm knocked out Ronda Rousey and kind of biggest upset ever, biggest upset of the year at least, to become champion. And history kind of repeated itself again. Not as dramatic, but still, Sean Strickland had one of the biggest upsets ever, if not of the year, which is insane. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'm going to do more videos. And that's pretty much it for right now.